All right. How you doing, guys? It is a Monday. Monday, February 15th. Hopefully everybody's having yourself a good start to their day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. And hopefully everybody's having a good, if you live in Ontario, Canada, a good family day weekend. Today's family day in Ontario, and in the United States, it's President's Day. And hopefully everybody watching us worldwide is having a good day and staying safe and warm. I know unless you live in Florida, then you're probably enjoying the sun, or it's crazy weather these days all over the place, right? So again, guys, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a sports handicapper here at ATSstats.com, the founder of the Raymond Report. And in fact, I'm also got some other websites that I've created along the way, and they include the World Series of Handicapping, hockeypicks.com, streakcatcher.com, and some other sites that are useful tools here in the sports betting industry. All right, let's start with a screen share, and we'll start the day off right. Now, yesterday, during the podcast, somebody mentioned the ATS Calculator, so I did write down all the forecasts today, so I will be going over the forecast today, and maybe a little roll call here in the chat, see how everybody's doing, see if we got our regulars, and if you're new to the Raymond Report, please chime in, let us know how you're doing, and just give us a shout here in the chat section. All right, so we know the chat's working. All right, so if you are new to the Raymond Report and you want to know more about it, you go to atsstats.com, you go to odds, go to tutorials, and then from there, it's there's some videos here where you can learn more about the Raymond Report. Just click on the left side, and I got about 4-minute videos here on all the features inside the members area. And take advantage of our flash sale, guys. Right now, ATS Stats Raymond Report membership, only $99 for 1 year. So we're cutting like cutting the cord. We're cutting some great deals here. And also my premium picks for the year. If you're interested in my top plays, my best bets each and every day, only $99, and you get my top plays for the entire full calendar year, 365 days of the year. And my best bets, just sign up, and it's only $99 for the year. Also, if you're interested in my book, Ron Raymond's 50 Sports Betting Secrets, and you would like a free copy of my book, just shoot me a message here. Just hit the Contact Us button at the bottom. Then you'll get a pop-up menu right here. And then just put in your details, and I'll forward you a free e-copy of my book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, that I wrote back in 2009, and some really good tips in there. All right, little roll call here. Say hi to everybody on a shout-out. We got a shout-out here to Chad, Isaiah, Andreas. I always mix up his name. How you doing, Andreas? Bo Dunn. Bo knows. Bo's always here. And again, guys, if you are new to the Raymond Report, don't be scared. Chime in. Put in your how you doing inside the chat box here. And the purpose of the show is to get you as much information, so that way when you go make your bets for today, you are informed, you have knowledge, and you're more advanced better, or more advantage better when you go make your selection, and you feel like you're on the right side, right? The purpose of the Raymond Report is to give you confidence and find the indicators on the games that you do like. So this way, if you like it, then hopefully you can pull the trigger and it makes you a winning day. Also, a little shout out to Jordan, Chief. Yo, Ray, how you doing, Chief? And let me see, waiting for NBA, NHL hockey. Yeah, no, it's we got a 4 p.m. start in the NHL today. That's St. Louis, Arizona. Man, they must feel like it's a playoff time here. They're always facing each other, right? All right, let's take a look at some of the information here. Now, what you're seeing here is the ATS standings, and I got a new tool that I'm working on that I'm going to show you guys in the next couple of days. It's similar to this. It's the ATS standings, but from a cycles point of view, right? I always like to know how teams are doing in 7 days, 10-day cycles. Who's the hot team of the hour, right? Portland right now is probably a hot team of the hour. But if you look at right here, now this what you're seeing right now is all the favorites and underdogs in the NBA for this season, how the home teams, home favorites, home underdogs, their record. This column here is straight up. This column here is the point spread, and this column here is the over-under. Now, when we first started doing the show, obviously, nothing was coming in, so you needed some volume, and it was a lot of green and red. It almost looked like a Christmas card, right? But look at all the yellow. Now, the yellow is what we're really, and the bookmaker wants, right? The bookmaker is trying to balance the books and the numbers so that they're between a certain range. So this way, there's not an advantage. And look at the middle column right here. This used to be all red and green. And the more yellow you see, the more you can see the bookmakers doing a good job adjusting the point spread. And let's see if we can find any good stats that would complement us in taking, if we're thinking about that. Now look at the totals here. Road totals. Any team that's a road team or home team that's 224 to 231, they're hitting 60% on the year. So that's high scoring games like tonight, Brooklyn and Sacramento. That's a high scoring game. So you can see that it does the over in that game or against the spread for the road team is hitting at 60%. So if you like Brooklyn tonight, just know that whenever there's a total, actually, you know what? No, that total is 240 something now. Yeah. So this 240 or more, 4-1. So anytime there's a total that's 240 or more this season in the NBA, it's hitting at 80% right now. Little shout out here. I like to do a little roll call on everybody. So guys, don't be scared. Just say how you doing today. Let's all be friends here and just a little roll call. So we got Jordan, Chief, Michael Mirando. How you doing, Mike? Isaiah's in the house. Murray Kenneth. How you doing, Murray? William Bork. Any relation to Ray Bork, William? Paperboy's in the house. Sonny Senko. How you doing, Sonny? Ronnie Ray Money. What's up, Ray Money? Ray Money. I like that. That's a good nickname, Ray Money. Chad, we got to talk to Chad. Spencer's in the house. How you doing, Spencer? And again, guys, welcome to the Raymond Report each and every day. Monday to Friday, we tune in here 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And on weekends, I don't leave you hanging on weekends, but I might this weekend. I got company coming, so we'll keep you posted. Probably do maybe a half-hour show this Saturday and Sunday. Can't keep my company hanging, right? All right, here we go. Back to the stats here. Look at this. Road underdogs of 3.5 to 6 points on the season. Straight up, only winning 39%, but covering at 57%. So road underdogs of 3.5 to 6 point on the road, 57%. So that's not too shabby at all. And that's some of these stats here. So I wanted to bring that to your attention and show you that. What's this? Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I want to show you guys some of that stuff. We'll do the NHL tomorrow. There's not really well, actually, you know what? While we're at it, let's hit the NHL. And while we're waiting for the NHL stats to come, here's the NBA matchup. So if you go inside the members area and you go to dashboard and you hit on the offensive, defensive rankings, and from there you go to NBA, it'll give you the matchups. And the New York Knicks, who would have thought they'd be the number one defensive ranked team points against in the league this year, right? Take a look at this. So some of the games tonight, we'll break these down more in depth while we go. But these are just tools in the toolbox. Again, I love doing these things here. So that way, when we get to the meat and potatoes of the Raymond Report, we can always, glance back and say, well, you remember New York Knicks were number one against points against in the league. So Chicago taking on Indiana tonight. The 7th ranked offense, 16th ranked offense for Indiana against the 7th ranked for Chicago. But defensively, 11th ranked for Indiana, 27th for Chicago. If Chicago will play some defense, they probably have better luck right now, and they wouldn't be stuck in the Western and Eastern Conference in what? Let me see here. 8, 9, 10, 11 spot. So they're in 11th spot. If they would be like a top 15 defense, they'd probably be sniffing the playoff race, right? Houston taking on Washington. The Rockets taking on the Wizards. The 24th ranked offense for Houston against 17th ranked points for the Wizards. And Houston, they've played a lot of unders this year, and this is why. Look at this. They're a top 10 defense. They're ranked number 8. Atlanta, Atlanta's very disappointing this year. I know I went through another rant yesterday, so I won't bore you guys with another Atlanta Hawks rant. 15 and 30 offensive rank respectively. But look at this, New York, only giving up 103 points against a game. Man, but here's the law of average. good on defense, but they suck on offense. Ranked number 30th, right? How you doing, Nutso? Roger Tuari, let's see the picks. Alan Francis, how you doing, Alan? And again, guys, just pop in, say hi. You'll get a roll call, you'll get a shout out. I know some people like me when I do shout outs on the Raymond Report. So if you're out there and you want a shout out, just say, hey, how you poke your head in, say how you doing, and you will get a shout out here today on the Raymond Report. All right, Philadelphia. Now they're playing again today against Utah. This is the game of the night. Sixers and the Jazz. This here is an 8th ranked offense for Philly. 9th. So Philly, you don't see too many teams ranked top 10 offense and defense, and you got 2 of them going at it head-to-head tonight, and we'll break that down in just a few minutes. Cleveland, Golden State. Cleveland, 29th ranked on offense, 18th on defense. Now Golden Snake, that's a new word, eh? The Golden Snake Warriors. Golden State, 22 ranked on defense. Golden State on offense, ranked number 9. Miami, 27th on offense. Very disappointing this year, the Miami Heat. But again, those teams in the bubble didn't get a lot of rest during the break, right? Clippers ranked 3rd and 5th, respectively. Clippers are right there again. And Brooklyn, the number 1 ranked offense. But look at this. They're almost like the New York Knicks, the complete opposite, right? I wonder if you take half the Knicks team and put it with half the Brooklyn team, if you get a perfect robot team, right? You probably get some. Think about it. New York is ranked number 1 on defense, and then you take Brooklyn. Hey, they are in the same city. Who would know, right? Hey, you just you take those 2 teams. Just something to think about. All right, and Sacramento ranked 11th, and then 29th on defense. All right, let's take now the NHL is loaded up. Now you can see the NHL here, more yellow in the over-under column. That's surprisingly. I thought the over would be more dominant. Home teams, 50% with the over-under. Home favorites, 63.7, 63 to 57, so 52%. And home dogs. So very interesting stat right there, and I'll show you this reason in a few minutes. So on the season, home favorites, where are you? Winning at 45% only. Home underdogs, wow, 66 and 26. Wow, that is, I'm going to have to check that stat out. I don't know if that's right or not. But home underdogs winning at, that's against the spread. Okay, that's why. This column's straight up. Here we go. I was wondering, man, I was gonna leave the show here to go start betting on home underdogs. All right, so home teams winning at 55%. Road teams obviously at 44.3%. And home favorites in the NHL. Remember, we've been talking about this in the SBI, right? It's 69%. Home favorites are just killing it. So 69.17% for the home favorites. All right, let me see here. Detroit might cover. Embiid questionable. Yeah, Embiid is back, right? It's always his back. All right, guys, before we get to the matchup, let's take a look at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and let's see what the bookmaker's seen on his ledger sheet. And we'll match it up with ours, and we'll try to find some winners here today. So looking at the 7-day average, yesterday, it was the first time in a while that underdogs in the NBA won straight up. Let's take a look at this. 3-7 for the underdog. Yesterday, the dogs were barking yesterday in the NBA. Let's take a look at this. So, Washington won that game. New Orleans against Detroit. Detroit looked pretty good last night. Minnesota, big difference when Cat's back, right? San Antonio won. Portland, Dallas, Portland's a dangerous team right now. I don't think I want to be playing Portland right now. And it's just, again, when you think of the Raymond Report, value percentage and cycles, right? And to me right now, the Portland Trailblazers are going through a really good cycle. How you doing, Lynn? And so, yeah, let's take a look at the straight up 70%. That's amazing. I'll have to take a look, see if it's every Sunday. I know Sundays, there's been some upsets on Sundays. I don't know if it's a national TV thing or what, but yeah, big day for the dogs yesterday, right? I see guys from Jamin's show. Oh, J Money. All right. Hey, more the merrier. As long as we're all basketball and sport betting fans, it's a free internet. And looking at the under here, the 6-4 to the over. So the over has cashed in the last 3 days. 6-4 to the over, 4-1 to the over here. and then 8-3. So the overs have been cashing in. And look at the overs, guys, on the month. 60.2% of the overs cashed in, and 39.9 of the unders. So remember I said yesterday, right? Keep hammering away on the overs. When you're doing your handicapping and you feel like an over, hey, why not? The over is coming in at a high pace. One of my top plays last night in the overs was New Orleans, Detroit. I had the over in that game. The only game I lost was the best bet, the Lakers. I went 3-1, but unfortunately, that's the pick you really want to win. Now, against the spread, hitting 59%, the favorites are in the 7-day average, 64% on the 3-day average. And if you look at last night, remember I was talking about this all week, guys? Normally that teams that win straight up will cover the spread. Well, look at this last night. Teams, the favorites won 3 games. They only covered 3 games, right? So if you can pick the favorite or the straight up winner, you can you really get the cover. No problem, Lynn. No problem. It's all good. All right, let's take a look at some of the NBA, and let's. I know there was it Lindbergh yesterday asked me about the ATS stats, so I calculated all the forecast today from the calculator. So what I'll do, once I give the forecast, I'll let you guys know what the ATS calculator. And if you are new to the Raymond Report, the ATS calculator is at atscalculator.com. And this is a number crunching website. And what you do here is, say if you go to NBA and you take out, say, Chicago, and you take in Indiana, and then you create the results. And you can see here we have Indiana winning 4.93 and the over-under at 222.44. So when I'm breaking down the games here today, guys, and you hear me say ATS calculator, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's take a look at the quick chat, see if there's anything everybody wants me to look at. All good. We all take all information and try to win. Go Bills. Got bills to pay. That's right. Everybody's got bills to pay, right? Yeah, everybody's got the bills. Okay, let's take a look at this one now. We're going to kick it off with the Bulls taking on the Indiana Pacers now. Pacers going to this game as a 5.5-point favorite. Over-under set at 227.5. ATS forecast, computer pick. Going to lean with the Pacers to win by 6. 117-111. Over-under at 228.71. And looking at the calculator, ATS calculator has Indiana winning 4.93, 222.44. So again, it does like it to go under the total, but the forecast likes it over. The Bulls 3-7 straight up and against the point spread in the last 10, and the Pacers 4-6 straight up and against the money. And looking at the we got to do a I don't know what it is with this. Every time I 2 o'clock, it's as if everything just shuts down. All right, just give me a second here, guys. Just going to do a regenerate the stats. Normally, once I hit this button, it comes back to normal. Let's see if it works. And bingo. Awesome. All right, so looking at the value index here, guys, we have the Pacers at minus 1.73, and we had the Bulls at plus 1.27. Now, looking at the Chicago Bulls, let me see their lineup tonight. Anybody? Actually, Markkanen's still out. He's been out for a while. Kobe White, Levine, Temple, Williams, Gafford, Brogdon, Holiday, McDermott, questionable, Sabonis, and Miles Turner. So I don't see any impact player being out tonight of the lineup. Well, Markkanen and Levert's been out for a while, recovering, and hopefully he's doing well on his recovery. And now let's take a look at the chances of winning. So again, before we get to that, the value, there is value tonight on the Chicago Bulls. If you like the Bulls, you're getting good value. You're getting 5.5. I had the number at 1.27. So if you do like the Bulls here tonight, guys, you're getting value. The chance of winning the game does favor the Pacers at 75%, and the chance of covering at 55% chance of covering. So the Bulls do have the value, the percentage play, and the chance of this game going over the total tonight is at 47%. Law of average does favor the Bulls, and the law of average is this. Anytime you see a check mark, that means you want to play in a team that lost against the spread versus a team that won against the spread, and that favors the Bulls tonight. And the Bulls coming off a 125-106 loss to the Clippers in their last game, where Indiana lost to beat the Hawks actually on Saturday night, 125-113. And looking at Indiana at home this year, Indiana's a Jekyll and Hyde type team, right? They're Jekyll on the road, but they hide at home. 7-8 straight up, 6-9 against the number. And the Chicago Bulls 9-3 to the point spread. So, Chicago's one of the top 10 teams that I've been following. And again, I can't wait to show you guys the stats. Chicago, I think, is ranked number 6 or 7 in the record with the best point spread record. I know 14-11 is nothing crazy about, but they're doing well. They are 9-3 against the point spread. And looking at the straight up record, the only problem I have here is Chicago in Indiana, 1-9 straight up, 3-7 against the point spread, 2-8 to the under. So if you do like the Bulls tonight, just be careful. They don't do well in Indiana. In fact, the Pacers in the last 10 head-to-head matches, 10-0 straight up, 7-3 against the number, 4-6 to the under. I won't be touching this game here tonight, guys. As much as I would love to lay, get 4.5 or 5.5 points, was it, on the Bulls? There is no way I'm touching Chicago tonight. I think Chicago's going through a little bit of a tough cycle right now. If you look at their last 3 games, they are 1-2, averaging 112 points for, 115 against, and the Pacers 2-1. They're starting to play a little bit better basketball. I know they're coming off a win over Atlanta, but let's see who they've beaten in their last couple of games, right? So they beat the Pistons, the Nets. They lost to the Nets. So when was the last time they beat a really good opponent, right? Let me take a look here. The Grizzlies, maybe 134-116. And then they lost by 9 to the Sixers. So you can see in their last 10 games, they don't have a signature win that I can see or talk about here. They lost by 10 to the Nets. And let me see, at home against a team below 500, 3-5 straight up, 2-6 against the number. So be careful tonight, guys. I think this is going to be a tough game for Chicago. Maybe the total is where you want to lean in this one. All right, let me take a look at some of the chat here, see what you guys are thinking. Pacers have owned the Bulls. Exactly. I'm leaning Bulls, but no play. Andreas, Knicks are winning tonight, beating the crap out of the Hawks. That's funny. I like the Knicks, but that line is fishy. Yes, if he's ruled out. No way Bulls are winning tonight. I agree some. I have bet on Pacers -5. Bulls been covering great lately, but I think it's actually a better matchup for the Pacers. Yeah, I agree 100%. Agree, strength. So I think we all agree here that, the Bulls are in a tough spot, right? And it's just the only thing that a little concerns anytime I see a consensus building like this, what's the golden rule, right? Everybody goes one way. What do? Normally you tend to go the other way. But looking at tonight's game, it's just I can't back a team that's 0-10 in the last 10 head. I always say this, right? In basketball or in sports or any game, some teams, it's like fights. Styles make fights. And for some reason, Chicago doesn't do well when they play against the type of game that the Pacers play. All right. So I said the calculator, and I just want to see if I missed anything here. Maybe the total. The total might be worth a look here. But I think it's a no play here for me tonight. All right, let's go to the next game. Let's talk about the Houston Rockets against the Washington Wizards. The Silver Bullet game. That's right, Bo. Yeah, watch out for that silver play, right? The Silver Bullet play. And what Bo's talking about, so in my book, I talk about the Silver Bullet play of the day. That's mostly for a busy college Saturday in football, basketball, NBA, if there's like a lot of games, and it's meant to kill your parlays. And what the bookmakers want to do on a busy action night, say like on a college Saturday, they'll put the sucker trap game of the line on the first game of the Nevada rotation on the first line. So that way, if they can kill your parlay on that first bet, then they don't have to sweat out the rest of the day, right? So that's what I call my Silver Bullet play of the day. All right, Pacers is a good bet. I don't trust them either. Rockets taking on the Washington Wizards. Now, the Rockets, a 1.5 point road favorite. The over-under set at 215. Forecast, leaning with the Rockets here, 108-107. The over-under at 215.81. Calculator has Houston winning 2.99, 224 to total. Now, I think this is a good spot for Houston. I think Washington, they got their signature win on Sunday, right, against the Boston Celtics. That was a big win for Washington. Anybody see that Westbrook free throw? That's what you call a brick, right? That's what you call throwing a brick. I don't know what he was thinking. He was probably thinking of supper or something. But how do you miss the net, right? Like, man, I can make that. I can hit. At least I can hit the rim. But hey, yeah, it happens, right? Just you got caught. Just one of those days, I guess, for Westbrook yesterday. But they got the win. Looking at the last 10 games for the Rockets, 4-6 straight up, 3-7 against the number, where the Wizards are 4-6 straight up and against the point spread. Looking at the value index on this game, I had Washington at +6 and I had the Rockets at +1. So neither team are getting the value on this game. The chance of winning does favor Houston at 66%. Man, do you remember a couple of weeks ago, Houston was rolling, right? They were just flying under the radar, and then they started getting injury bugs, right? Christian Wood got hurt, and then they started, Westbrook. I like that. Westbrook. That's a good one, Isaiah. I love that. Westbrook. You know what? That calls for a smoothie. Yeah, little banana, strawberry, ice cubes, yogurt, a little smoothie to get through the rain report show, right? Hey, you got to have some fun doing this. Looking at the chance of covering here today, guys, 81% here for the Rockets, 65. So you can see both teams against the point spread, the higher high going to the Rockets here. I don't like that. I don't like seeing a high number like that, but the thing that makes me feel good is that Washington's a higher too, right? Now, Kogo's at 51%. So as you saw in the strength, the SBI, fire away. Strength, the LOA, the law of average does favor the Houston Rockets. Now, the Rockets have been losing by 19 points in their last 3 games, where the Wizards, on average, losing by 9 points. Let's take a look at those last 3 games. There must have been a blowout in there. Yeah, there it is. Pelicans, 130-101. That was a bad game. That was garbage time in the fourth. And then they lost 101-94 against the Heat, and then a bad one against the Knicks. So Houston, very inconsistent. But, they're pros. And this, if you're looking for value, I think this might be a good spot for the Rockets here tonight. They're playing a team that's 3-9 straight up at home, 3-9 against the spread, 15-9-0 to the over. But look at this, Houston 9-16-1 to the under. Now, the last 10 meetings in Washington, Houston is 6-4, 5-5 against the number, and they're playing on 1 day's rest. And let me see here if there's anything really to write home about. Nothing really. Let me see the forecast. I still think Houston might be a nice play here, but I wouldn't go crazy. It's just Washington getting that win yesterday. The problem with these C-type teams, so in the rain report, I like to see how teams do against certain type of teams, right? A, B, or C-type teams. And when Washington's at home against a team below 500, 0-5 straight up, 0-5 against the number, 3-2, and then bearish. They're a C bearish against C bearish. Bearish means in our last 7 games, they're 1-6, and that's 3-4. So there should be a neutral. This should be neutral, not bearish. And 4-6, 7-3 to the over. So Houston in the over, and you know my rule of thumb, right? If you like the favorite, take the over. But there might be some value there in the over. And wow, 5 straight up losses, straight up and against the point spread. Maybe the over is where you want to go in this one. Hello, Ron from the Bay. How you doing, G&G? Hopefully the weather is nice over there in the Bay Area. So you like the under tonight, Andreas? 230.5. Well, the number, let's see what the latest number is in this game. 230.5. This line opened up at 227. So money's coming in on the over. I think that's where I'd be leaning tonight, the over. But let's get to the next play. All right. Let's take a look at the Atlanta Hawks against the New York Knicks. Now, the Knicks coming off a 121-99 win in their last game against the Houston Rockets, and Atlanta coming off a loss to the Pacers, right? 125-113 on Saturday night. Going into this game, the Hawks a 2-point favorite. That's a funny line to me. I look at that and I'm saying, how can Atlanta be a 2-point favorite in this game? This is where if something doesn't smell right here, right? Am I the only one seeing this? I think so. The forecast does like the Knicks here, 102-101. The over/under at 204.01. Looking at the Hawks' last 10 games, 3-7, 5-5 to the numbers, 6-4 to the over. Minus 0.63 was the value on the Hawks. Minus 0.19. So there's value on New York here tonight. Chance of winning does favor the Hawks at 60%. The chance of covering at 58%. And looking at the average loss for Atlanta in the last 3 games, averaging on total 8 points, and the Knicks winning by 12. So this is a contrarian play here. It's just everything points to New York, but there's the contrarian in me is saying the Atlanta. I don't know why, but it just seems fishy to me right now. And looking at I'll tell you, look at this: Atlanta on the road against a team below 500, 3-2, but 4-1 against the number. But I like the under better in this game. If I had to play the side or the total, I think the under is where I'm leaning. And Atlanta in their last 10 trips to Madison Square, 5-5 straight up, 5-5 against the number, 6-4 to the over. And the Knicks are 7-3 straight up, 6-3-1 in the last 10 head-to-head matches. And as a home underdog this year, New York 4-5, 105 points for, 107 points against. Keep in mind, New York's the number one ranked team against points against in the league. And as a road favorite this year, Atlanta 3-1. You know, there's everything points to New York, but the under in Atlanta, to me, I think Atlanta might be the call here. What's Atlanta's road record on the year? 5-6, but 7-4 against the number. You know, it's an uncomfortable play, right? I talk about the uncomfortable pick. Sometimes you're going to make a selection in sports or in sports betting that you're very uncomfortable making, and you just, you know, the perception versus reality. And right now, the perception is that New York looks on paper should be a win, but in reality, I think Atlanta's the play. I have a cheap Hawks money line bet. It's Hawks going on the road, pass, take Pacers. It's fishy. So yeah, so I do like Atlanta here. I think Atlanta. You know, I'm looking for a big game by Trae Young. I haven't seen a big game by Trae Young. Even though him and Collins had some pretty good chemistry in that game against the Pacers, there were some nice alley-oops. But you know, and you know, look at New York coming off a big win against the Rockets. What are they on, a 2-game win streak, 3 ATS wins, percentage play. So let's look at our fundamentals, right? Where's the value? The value tonight is on New York and minus 0.63. So Atlanta a bit overvalued. The percentage play favors Atlanta. 60% chance of winning, 58% chance of covering, and compared to 18 and 23. And let's take a look at the cycles. Now, you know, Atlanta on a 3-game losing cycle, the Knicks on a 3-game ATS win cycle, but 4-1 against 500 teams on the road. Give me Atlanta tonight, guys. I'm taking the Hawks. All right, let's take a look at the next game. The game of the night in Utah. Philadelphia taking on the Utah Jazz. Now, the Jazz is a covering machine. They're a bettor's best friend this year. In fact, 21-6 covering the spread. And looking at the Philadelphia 76ers, coming off a 2-game losing streak, 120-111 loss to the Suns. Remember we talked about that game? That didn't look right, but sure enough, Philly lost that game. They're 6-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. Look at Utah. Utah just took a breather against Denver a couple of Sundays ago, right? They were on an 11-game straight up ATS win streak against prior to that Denver game. You know, I think that was Super Bowl Sunday. Maybe we can blame Super Bowl Sunday, right? Or I don't know if it was Super Bowl. So let me see here. What was the date of that game against Denver? Let's go back to the Nuggets. No, it was January 31st. Okay, so we can't blame Super Bowl Sunday. But you know what? They're back at it again. 7 straight up wins, 7 ATS loss. Looking at the standings in the Western Conference, they now have a 1.5 game lead over the Lakers. You know, Utah, I can tell you, if I'm the coach and I'm the players and I'm saying, guys, you know, we got this far, let's run the board so that way every team in the Western Conference, if they want to go to the finals, they got to go through Utah. That would be my mindset talking to the players and saying, guys, keep the foot on the pedal and keep it going, right? Looking at the Jazz, 9-1 straight up, 9-1 against the spread, 5-5. Looking at the value index, I had the Jazz at -9 tonight, and the Sixers are on the value index at -3.42. So you're getting value on both these teams. Now, somebody mentioned in the chat Embiid might be doubtful because of his back. Yeah, I'm seeing game time decision. You know, that's been like that all year, right? Looking at the chance of winning, 41% for Philly, 68% for the Jazz, 57% chance of covering, though. The more chances you win, but again, it's almost like breaking the rules here of defiance. You know, I got to go. How do you not go with Utah? You know, I said it right since the beginning, right? just go to you go to the dance with the girl that brought you. And right now, Utah is bringing us to the dance every night. So let's keep dancing with Utah. Utah 12-2 at home, 12-2 against the number. Philly, Jekyll and Hyde, right? 11-2 at home, 7-7 on the road, and coming off a tough loss to Phoenix. And let me see here. I was on 1 day's rest, and so is Utah. I think Utah's the play here tonight, guys. Utah, maybe the over too. What's the over? The over under. The ATS calculator has Utah winning by 6.5, and it had 223.58. And I forgot to give the total, guys, of the calculator in the Atlanta-New York game. It has New York winning 2.36 and 215, but I'm still taking Atlanta. Any comments on this game here, guys? Let me take a look here. Just tuned in. How you doing, Kelvin? Thanks for the info. Eric Jones, how you doing? Glenn Elliott, been hitting Donovan Mitchell, props over. Oh, nice. Sam Plasta, how you doing, Sam? Yeah, we already talked about the Pacers. Pacers were the team I think everybody's looking at. Can't trust Chicago. How you doing, Elliot? John X, nice to have you in the house. Philly's been covering in Utah. Oh, let me see this. Actually, in the last 10 trips, Philadelphia is 2-8 straight up, 5-5 against the number. And in the last 10 head-to-head meeting, this is maybe what you're meaning here. Utah, last 10 head-to-head matches with the Sixers, 5-5 straight up, 3-7 against the point spread, 3-7 to the under. So Utah, they have struggled, but this team is this is a special team this year. Let me take a look at some of these stats and trends. Oh, you know what? I wanted to go to the 80% club. Remind me if I forget. In fact, I'll do it after this game. Let's go look at the 80% club and see if there's any good trends or league systems pointing towards tonight. Wow. 12-1 versus non-division opponents, 6-0 versus non-conference opponents. 6-2. Yeah, obviously when you're, everything's going to point to Utah. Let me go look at the 80% club. I want to see if there's anything in the trends and the league system stats pointing towards anyone. How you doing, Jack? There's a bump right back to you, buddy. Martin, tuning in. Thanks, Ron. You're welcome, Martin. Thanks for tuning in. Again, guys, if I miss you on the chat, just shoot me a shout out, and I'll give you back a fist bump or an elbow bump right there, right? Let's go to NBA. All right. Just like I always say, I like to start from the bottom, work our way up. So Indiana and Utah on the money line. So we see here some good stats here. When Utah is a favorite last 4 years and they won their last game by 12 points or more, they are 24-6 straight up in their next game. So that's pretty solid. Utah, nice money line stat there. Indiana. So Indiana, Utah getting a lot of love here. Any blue star stat you see here, guys, that means it's 80% or higher. Golden State, and we'll get to that game in just a second. Take a look at this. Sacramento as a home team the last 3 years after a non-division game coming off a loss versus a Western Southwest opponent. 12-3 against the number, so we'll talk about that in a second. Brooklyn, a 9-1 thing to the over. Let me see here. Clippers look good. I like the Clippers tonight too. I'll get to that in a second. I don't see anything on the Utah-Philly. I don't see any stats for Philly here tonight. And let me see. Houston as a road underdog when the spread's 0 to plus 3.5 or minus 3.5. So anytime the spread's so 0 to 3.5 to the under. So if you like Houston tonight, I got a nice little trend there on the under. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Sometimes we get some really good under the radar type stats that I want to bring to your attention. All right. Yeah, Embiid might play, might not play. Shake is also out. Shake. Jazz has won last 6 ATS. I think Jazz has won every ATS. No Durant. Really? I like Wizards today. Houston sucks. I appreciate all your stars. Nice. Let me see. We'll get to that Durant game in a second. So let me go back to the Jazz and the Sixers. So yeah, I do like the Jazz here tonight, guys. I'm going back to the well. Hey, like I said, go to the dance that brought you, right? as a home favorite, 11-2, and as a road underdog, 2-3. And let's take a look at their stats in the last few games. Yeah, so nothing, staying pretty average. Both teams are very consistent. Utah is over, in the last 3 games, 121 and averaging 115. So they're playing well on offense. So again, this eventually has to come back to normal. And they're playing the Sixers tonight. So they're playing another A-type team. So another alpha team. And the Wizards, Utah's only played A-type teams 4 times. They're 2-2 straight up and against the number. All right, let's get to the next one. Cleveland against Golden State. Let me take a look at the injury report here. Cleveland, Golden State. So Drummond's still out. Not injury related. Okay. So Drummond's not playing. He didn't play yesterday or against the Clippers. Vedova. That's still out. Draymond Green is a game time decision. So, all right. Looks like everybody should be a go here. We got the Warriors 9.5. The over under at 215. ATS forecast going with a, let me see here, a 12-point win, 119 and 107. The over under at 226. Calculator exactly right there, 12.24. I do like Golden State here tonight, even though I'm laying a bit of point. What's the latest number here on this game? I saw 8.5 this morning. It's 9.5. So if you got them early this morning, you did a good job. And they're 9.5 right now. I got them winning by 12. Value, obviously, they're way overvalued, and you are getting value if you like Cleveland. Chance of winning, 76% for the Warriors, 84% for the Cavs. And at home this season, the Golden State Warriors, 5-1 against teams below 500, 4-2 to the point spread. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, again, I've said this many times on the show, ever since the trade, they haven't done well. 0-5 against the number. And what's the over-under in this game? I saw a really high number here. Let me check. I got where are you? Over-under 227. That's what we have right here, right? No, 227 is the total. So we got 227 as a total. And when NBA home teams are a 9.5 to 12-point home favorite, 16-3 straight up, 13-6 to the over. So if you do like the over tonight, guys, we got, let me see, the Cogos at 42%. So meaning a 58% chance of this game going under. But I think I like Golden State here. No center for Brooklyn. The Cleveland Cavaliers are no longer planning to play Andre as they work to trade. Wow. I guess his welcome's already done in Cleveland. That's too bad. And you know what? When losing sucks, right? Anytime you're part of a losing culture, and if you're somebody who's used to being around winners, well, you came from Detroit, right? So you can't. But I get it. When you're part of, if you're always losing, it just gets to you. Losing will get to you. Ron, that's not the total. Yeah, I know. It's we're having feed issues, so the total on this game is 227, right? 227. So I'll have to get that looked at. We're trying to fix the line feed. So sometimes we'll get a line feed that's messed up. It's coding, right? So I do like the Golden State Warriors here tonight, guys. All right, let's take a look at the next game here. That's too bad for Drummond. I really like him. I like the way he plays. He's very very aggressive. You don't see that much in athletes anymore, especially in basketball. Actually, if you go look on YouTube, Twitter, they were showing like an old 1990s videos of NBA players. Man, it was crazy. Hey, the Detroit, the what do they call that? The bad. What was the nickname of the Detroit? The bad boys in Detroit. Man, they were crazy when they had Rodman there and Isaiah and Lambeer. Those crazy guys. He might get traded to Toronto or Tampa. Yeah, you know what? I hope he goes to Toronto because we need help. We need help down the middle. We need toughness and centers, big forwards here in Toronto, or not here in Toronto, but for the Raptors. All right, let's take a look at the Heat against the Clippers. Now, LA going to this one, a 3-point favorite. The over/under at 216. Forecast sees a really tight game here. Look at this, 106.8 to 106.4. Over/under at 213.35. Clippers 7-3 straight up. in their last 10 games, 6-4 against the point spread, 8-2 to the over, where the Heat are 5-5, 3-7 against the number, 3-7 to the under. Value-wise, there's more value on the actually minus 7.67 was my number in the Clippers. We're laying 3, so we're getting value on the Clippers, and you're getting fair market value on the Heat. Let's take a look at the Heat's injury report. Now, the Heat having a really bad year when you compare it to last year when they went to the finals. Looking at the injury report, Kawhi Leonard, game-tied decision, lower leg. Let's hope Kawhi plays here tonight because I do like the Clippers here tonight. Paul George is a game-time decision, toe. So looking at the chance of winning, 81% chance of winning for the Clippers. And then we got a 25% chance for the Heat. 63% chance of covering for Miami, 36% for the Clippers, and a 49%. So we're right there on the Kogo at 49%. So we're, from a market psychology point of view between us and the bookmaker, there's really no competitive edge in that department there for them or us. Law of average does favor Miami. Clippers on a 3-game winning streak, 2 ATS, and at home against a C-type team, 6-2, 4-4 against the number. And I've always thought they've done well against the beatables, right? 9-4 at home, 7-6 against the number, where Miami 4-8 on the road, 6-6 to the number, 4-6 in the last 10 on the road against the Clipper. And in the last 10 head-to-head meeting, LA 7-3 straight up. I do like the Clippers here tonight, guys. I hope Kawhi plays too. If Kawhi plays, it really reassures. I have more confidence in my selection. But I do like the Clippers. I went with the Drummond news. Drummond is a great player. I love Drummond. I've watched Drummond now a couple of years, and I saw him in person when I was on vacation in Orlando, and the Magic played Detroit, and when Drummond was playing for Detroit, and I told my wife, I said, man, just look at Drummond go. He's just dominating. And he's got that competitive edge, what you want, right? You just want that on your team. All right. What else we got here? Let's take a look at some of the stats. For the Clippers, just trying to see if there's any league system stats. On the total, what the ATS Calculator, this is a big one. I think of all the numbers, this one had the biggest difference. Clippers had the ATS Calculator had the Clippers winning by 10.41 and the over-under at 219. And where are we on the total right now? Total is sitting at Clipper 216. So money coming in on the under. So it opened up around 219. Actually, you know what? No, 217 is what I've seen. And I'm seeing Clippers at 216. So not a big line movement. In fact, let me go look at here on the line changes. So, yeah, opened up at 220.5. Wow. And then it got down. That was last night, though. Early this morning. And then it shot down to 2. So, yeah, so money coming in all day on the under. But I think the Clippers is where you want to lean. And what's the line here on the Clippers? 3.5. So the line's going up the other way. I like the Clippers here tonight, guys. They played yesterday, though. Yeah, so let me see here. So they did playing on 0 days rest. So, that's a great point. Who brought that up? They played yesterday. John X. Yeah, great point. And on NBA teams that played on 0 days rest and they're a pick 'em to a minus 3-point home favorite, 11-7 straight up, 10-8 against the number, 11-7. And who they played? They played Cleveland. They played Cleveland and they won 128-111. And for Miami, they're on 1 day's rest. They're playing on 1 day's rest. And normally the Heat this year on 1 day's rest, pick 'em to +3. They're 0-2 straight up and against the number, 0-2 to the under. So under might be also a consideration here. Miami to cover. You like Miami, Chad? What about the under? Yeah, I do like the under, Spencer. Yeah, I think, now that somebody brought that to our attention, playing on 1 day's rest, we've been talking about this on the show the last couple of days, right? A lot of teams are playing 4 games in 5 nights. There's so much basketball. It's a cram schedule. It's such a cram. And, how can you fault guys taking rest nights now, right? Let me take a look at the schedule here for the Clippers. So they played the 10th, the 12th, the 14th. Yeah, so they're playing 4 games in 5 nights. And for Miami, they played the 9th, See, Miami's been lucky. They've had a day in between. So Miami, as in that sense, have had more time rest, but they're also on the road, right? So they're eating out of hotels and stuff like that. So you might be onto something. If Kawhi and George don't play, you still pick Clippers? No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Then I take the under. Then I look at the under. So, but if you can get your information and find out if they're in or out, if they do play, it's a great play. If they don't, then the under. How you doing, Lonnie? All right, let's go to the next game. Brooklyn against Sacramento. Sacramento didn't look too good last night, eh? Buddy Buckets and company. Look at that total, 242. It's like an all-star game. -4 is the line here for the Nets. 242.5. Let me see what the latest number is. 243, 242.5. Forecast didn't lean with the Brooklyn Nets, 120 to 115. So we got them winning by 5. And looking at the all right, so we got them winning by 5, 6-4 straight up. The Sacramento Kings 7-3 against the number, 7-3 to the over. Like, this is a lot of plays here to the over. Now let's take a look at this right here. Both teams combined 15-5 to the over. The Brooklyn Nets on the season 21-7 to the over, and it's almost like Denver, right? All right. I don't know. I'll put my phone on mute there. It was on mute and it's still going off. You ever get that? You put your phone on mute and it still goes off? I don't get that. All right. 12-14 straight up at home. Overall this season. 7-9 at home this year. 6-10. Sacramento had a really good streak run, but now it's funny. Teams that are below 500, those teams that go on a really good run, like say they go they were on an 8-game win streak and 8 ATS. I wouldn't be surprised they go on an 8-game losing streak and 8 ATS. The law of average, it's funny how those cycles work out, right? So I think Brooklyn tonight, I have Brooklyn at the ATS Calculator winning by 9.17. So I do like Brooklyn here tonight, guys. So, okay, so somebody's saying Kawhi is out. So the under to me looks more attractive. Only when FBI is calling. That's funny. All right, everyone's thinking over and under might be the play. I like the Brooklyn Nets here. I think Brooklyn. Now, let me check the lineup here, see if there's any. So Bagley, the third, is still a calf. Did he play yesterday? No, he hasn't played in 2 games. So he's a game time decision. Durant is out. Hamstring. It's too bad. Jordan. But you know what? You still got Kyrie. You still got James Harden. I do like Brooklyn here. I do like Brooklyn. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is this. When Brooklyn's on the road against a team below 500, 2-5 straight up, 2-5 against the number, but 6-1 to the over. The over might be worth a consideration too, guys. I think the over might, but just 240. I'm not laying on a 240 number. That's like an all-star game. I'm not touching that. Buckets to cover +5. Yeah, buddy buckets. I just think there's better games to bet on. I don't think I'm going to touch this game. 10-2 to the over. This is like a Texas Tech and Baylor game in college football, right? With all the high numbers. Fox could sit. They've been talking about sitting Fox now for a couple of days, right? He's got a nagging injury. They've been talking about sitting him out for a while now. His knee. He's got a bad knee. Let me see what Fox is doing lately. If it's hurting his production, then the best thing to sit him down, right? He had 23 points against Memphis last night. But you can tell the knee's bothering him. He didn't play against Orlando, and he only had 23 points last night. And normally the games before, 34, 36, then 24, 26, 38. So obviously, De'Aaron Fox, there's something wrong with him. But I still think Brooklyn's the play, but I wouldn't touch the total. 240 is a high total, right? What do you guys think? 233 was the calculator number, and 236 was the computer number. What's the Kogo at? Kogo's at 23. It's just the one thing you notice, it's like Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee had a big string of going over. I think Milwaukee and Brooklyn are the two teams with the best over-under records to the over. We eventually those teams, like Milwaukee last night, right? They got to hit a bump in the road sometime. Maybe the under is the call here tonight, guys. This is a lot of points. This is a lot of points to cover for the over. Yeah, I think that's a good call, John. Yeah, wait till the last minute. And you know what? And if you won your earlier bets, if you don't have to, then don't give it back to the books, right? Might as well keep it and have a sleep well. Hey, have a good night's sleep, knowing you had a good night. All right, NBA's over. Let's go to NHL. Man, we got a lot of games in the NHL. So again, the NHL is going to be a quick one here. Man, there's only 6-7 NBA games, and we lasted an hour on them. It's a crazy night, right? All right, let's take a look at the 4:00 game between the St. Louis Blues and the Arizona Coyotes. Now, it looks like the starting goalie is going to be Kemper and Binnington. What's with this schedule of Arizona playing St. Louis all the time? Is this, are we in the playoffs or something? This is like the 6th game in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games in a row that these teams are playing each other. So looking at the line here, -120 for the Blues, the over-under at 5.5. I got St. Louis winning 3.04 to 2.5, the over-under at 5.6. Now the calculator on this game, also like St. Louis, really tight, 0.36. And I got the 5.72 on the total. Now, the thing I'm a little concerned about is that the under has coming in at a big, strong rate here in the NHL, right? It's funny to see the over-under at 5.5 and 6.5. They haven't posted any 6, and it's obviously it's by choice. They don't want to give it. They don't want any ties, right? Take a look at this. So the last few the week, look at all the week. 1-1 yesterday, 7-3 to the under. 1-1, 6-4. The last time we had a winning night for the over was February 1st, and it was only 3-2. The unders, guys, it's very stingy out there when it comes to betting totals. But in this game, I'm going back to St. Louis. I don't know how you go against, the Blues are playing some good hockey right now. You got value. It's whenever you play this amount of hockey, it's obviously the law of average. But I just don't see, how you can take. Well, you can take anybody in this game, to be honest. Well, I'm not touching this game. I think St. Louis is the play. 6-4 in the last 10, 7-3 to the over. The value's there. Percentage play favors the Coyotes. And looking at the St. Louis Blues record on the year, 9-6, 6-1 on the road. They're 7-3 in their last 10 to Arizona. So again, a lot of numbers pointing towards St. Louis. I think St. Louis might be the play here, but it's one of those hard situation games to handicap when you got a team that's playing like the 7th time in a row, right? 6-7 times. So it's just a crazy schedule. Yeah, they're used to playing each other. All right, let's go look at the other game. Now, the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres haven't played in 2 weeks. This is the last time they played was February 1st. And the last time they played was a 5-3 win against lost to the New Jersey Devils. So looking at the Islanders, they're coming off a 4-2 win over Boston. That was a good letdown spot against the Bruins. The Bruins won the night before against the Rangers. So I thought that was a good letdown spot for the Islanders, for the Boston Bruins. The line on this game, -132. And what did the line open up at? 141. So mid-afternoon money coming in on the Sabres. And looking at the forecast, 2.7 to 2.5, the over-under at 5.31. If you do like the under might be worth a look here. And looking at the daily market value index, really no value on any of these teams. And chance of winning favors Buffalo at 63%. Now the Sabres, before their trip, their little vacation or their time off, a 5-3 loss, and they weren't. I thought they weren't scoring a lot of goals here. Let me see. Maybe they were 3.2 in their last 5. Goaltending is an issue. 3.67 goals against. Islanders, finally getting some goals for. 2 goals against, but on the road, let me see their road record. 2-6 on the road. This is a tough one here. This is a tough team. Reminds me a bit of yesterday. Colorado didn't play in a long, 10 days or something like that, or 7 days. It was a while. They look sloppy, right? I got a feeling this is going to be a same type of situation for the Buffalo Sabres here tonight. And looking at the starting goalies, you got Allmark for Buffalo, Sorokin for the Ilya Sorokin, 3.65 goals against, 2.56 for Allmark. So you got 2 goalies with, let me see here, 2.56 goals against. You want to keep it under 3, right? Sorokin could do better with his goals against average. I think I'm leaning towards the Islanders here, minus 141. They are, even though they're 2-6 on the road, they're 6-4 in Buffalo in their last 10, and Buffalo's only 2-8. So I think I do like the. I'm going to lean with the Islanders in this one here tonight, guys. There's some stats that do concern me though. As a road favorite, they're only 1-4 on the road, the Islanders. But again, team hasn't played in 14 days. So I'm expecting a lot of rust. Maybe the under is where you want to go here too, right? Maybe the under is where you want to look at. All right, guys, I'm just going to speed through this here today. Florida against Tampa Bay. Now, at first glance, when I looked at this game and I was handicapping, I was leaning towards Florida. I think we're getting good value on the Florida Panthers. Now, it looks like Chris Dreger is going to get the nod here. Dreger is going against Curtis McElhinney. So, a couple of battle of the backups here tonight. But look at this right here. 8-2 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head meetings, and Florida's only 1-9 in Tampa Bay. So the Panthers are not having a lot of success at the Amalie Arena, but 8-4 in the year. Florida's having a pretty good year, but again, remember those games? A lot of their games are 1-goal games, right? But not last game. They got smoked 6-1 last game, 5-2 against the Lightning. But before that, a lot of 1-goal games, 2-1 here, 2-1, 6-5, 3-2. But Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the best team, I think, in the NHL. I like Tampa Bay here tonight, guys, even with McElhinney and Nets. Yeah, the Islanders need to start a winning streak. But I do like Tampa Bay here tonight. Columbus, Carolina. Now, this is going to be a good hockey game. I'm leaning with the Blue Jackets in this one. A couple reasons. Number one, look at the line value here. We're getting 155. I had them at 138. Now, Carolina, 8-2 in their last 10, a 175 price tag. That's a hefty price tag tonight for Carolina. And looking at their 2-game win streak, coming off a long road trip, though. Look at this. Look at their road trip. It started off on February 2nd. They haven't played a home game since January 31st. So they've been on the road a long time. And Columbus, 1-1 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Lost. That was a tough loss in overtime. Beautiful goal by DeBrincat. Nice setup by Canes. I had Chicago in that game, so obviously that made me smile. But I think Carolina coming off a long road trip, and we're getting value on the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think you're getting good value tonight here. And the starting goalies, Korpisalo looks like he's going to get the nod between the pipes for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And you got James Reimer. Mrazek. I wonder when Mrazek's going to be back. But give me Columbus here tonight, guys. I think you got to take the value, right? And again, even though the favorites are coming in at a high clip in the NHL, I'm looking for the reversal. We've hit that 15-game mark for a lot of these teams. And looking at the record here for Columbus, 7-9, 9-3 for Carolina. I can't see that continuing. But give me Columbus. I think Columbus is getting good value here tonight. If you do like Columbus here tonight. All right, let's take a look at the next game. Ottawa, Toronto. Man, this is gonna be a quick. It's gonna be a quick handicap here. Toronto minus 312. The over/under at 615, and we got 3.9 to 2.7. The over/under is set at 6.67, and it looks like in nets for Toronto, Freddie Anderson against Marcus Hogberg. Looks like Matt Murray is still going to be out. Got a shoulder injury. And I think Toronto in a blowout. They're 4-1 against C-type teams below 500 at home. What's the over-under in this game? 6.7. I think, Ottawa coming off a nice win over the Winnipeg Jets. And the one thing I will say to be careful, anytime Toronto plays Montreal or Toronto, it's their Stanley Cup, right? They're always going to give it their best effort. Maybe the under is where you want to lean here tonight. If you do like, you don't want to lay 3. I hope you don't lay 312. That's ridiculous. But I think the under is where you want to lean here tonight, guys. Ottawa, look at this. Ottawa's last 10 trips in Toronto, they are 6-4 straight up. So this is what I mean. Anytime Ottawa plays Toronto, it's their Stanley Cup. 6-4. That's a pretty good record. But Ottawa 2-7. Ottawa does better on the road than at home. They're 1-6 at home, 2-7, and Toronto 6-2 at home. And as a home favorite, they're averaging 2 points. Let me see here. As a home favorite, 3.63. They're only averaging 2.67 goals for in the last 3 games. So the Freddie Anderson's been closing the door, 1.67. Even though Toronto's not scoring much lately, maybe the under is where you want to look, right? And what's the Kogo at this one? Kogo is at 82%. Yeah. So, wow, that's a high Kogo. But I think the under is still the play here. Yeah, you know what, Jordan? I don't see why not. But the only thing is, again, which Ottawa team shows up, right? Ottawa always plays the least tough. I can see a 4-2 type game, an empty netter at the end. I think it's going to be closer. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. I think the Leafs win by 2, but I think there might be more value with the under. So the last couple of games when Ottawa travels to Toronto, 2-1 Leafs, 5-3 Leafs. So yeah, Toronto don't get in any penalty trouble with Toronto because they'll torch you on off. They'll torch you with their power play. Chicago, Detroit. Let's take a look at this one here between the Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks and the Red Wings. Now Chicago 125 road favorite, over under at 5.5. I got 3.7 to 2.5. The over under at 6.3. Red Wings 2-8 straight up in their last 10. And for the Chicago Blackhawks, coming off a nice overtime win, right? Even though the night before they lost to Columbus, that was a nice comeback win for Chicago. In fact, those 2 games against the Blue Jackets, they had the lead the first game. They lost to 6-5, and then they came back to the last game to win that game. They were down 2-1, and then they scored in overtime. Detroit had a good run there in the Sunshine State and in the Nashville. They beat Florida. They didn't beat Tampa Bay, though. Not too many teams beating Tampa Bay these days, but they got a win against the Predators. Detroit's a sneaky. They're playing a little bit better hockey right now. And for the just going to turn this off, guys, so it doesn't bother us. All right. Thought it was off. And for Detroit, they're playing better hockey. Let's take a look at their last couple of games. Even though as a home underdog, they're 2-4. But in the last 3 games, they're still not scoring a lot of goals, right? 2.3 goals for in the last 3, 2.4 in the last 5. But they're, what you see is what you get with Detroit right now. And let's take a look at the season average at home. So they're averaging 2 goals for Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks, they can score a lot of goals. Give me Chicago tonight. I do like Chicago. I like the Chicago Blackhawks. And you're getting Detroit coming off a long road trip, right? Coming off a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game road trip. And Chicago take, so give me Chicago tonight. And the value, what? 135? What's the latest number on this game for Chicago? We're getting them at, let me see here. Chicago minus 130, 125. So it varies, right? But I do like Chicago here tonight, guys. All right, Nashville taking on the Dallas Stars. Now, Dallas, man, they're really struggling on a 5-game losing streak. Minus 167 price tag. The over-under at 5.5. Forecast leaning with the Stars tonight. 3.1, 2.6. The over-under at 5.79. Now, Radulov, he said he hasn't played in like 4 games. They need him bad. They need Radulov back in the lineup. I don't know if he's going to be in tonight. I still think he's out. But I do like Dallas tonight here, even though they're on a 5-game losing streak, playing Nashville. And when they play Nashville, they're 7-3 in their last 10 head-to-head matches. This is let me see here. What's the line on this game? -167. This, you got to be careful with these. A team on a 5-game losing streak, -167, and looking at their let me see their production here on offense and defense the last couple of games here. So in their last 3 games, they're averaging 2.3. Goaltending's hurting them right now. They're not getting the goaltending they should, but neither is Nashville. Nashville's allowing 4 goals against. This could be like a 5-3, 5-4 game tonight. Maybe the over might be worth a look, but I think if you're going to play the side, I think Dallas is the side here tonight. They're still 4-4 at home, and they're still a good hockey team. Nashville 1-5 on the road this season. Dallas, Dallas Dallas will be a public play today. That's the only thing that concerns me too, right? I'm scared of Ottawa every time they play Toronto or Montreal. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said, John. It's exactly that. Every time Ottawa plays Toronto or Montreal, it's their Stanley Cup. It's there's no tomorrow for those games, right? A lot of emotions because they know they want to beat. They want the headlines. They want the headlines in the province of Ontario, right? But Toronto is probably the best team in the Eastern Conference, though. Toronto's Boston, Toronto. Those are your top teams right now. But I do like Dallas here tonight. I think Dallas is the play. And the starting goaltenders for the Dallas Stars, Anton Hudobin and UC Saros going for Nashville. But I think more value in the over, to be honest. All right, let's go to the next one. We got, and the calculator likes Dallas 1.24, the over-under at 5.81. So the calculator likes the over too. Winnipeg and Edmonton. This could be a good game. Paul Maurice wasn't too happy that they lost the game against Ottawa. Well, I don't think any coach would be happy to lose to Ottawa, right? That's a sign you probably you want to go crack a beer open after that game. But yeah, that was a tough. I saw his press conference. He wasn't too impressed. Edmonton. Now the Oilers 7-3 in the last 10, 6-4 to the over. Winnipeg 5-5. Kyle Connors. What a sneaky good hockey player that guy is. He's got that one-timer in the low bottom slot on the power play. Man, he's got a great one-timer. And -135 was our number on the Jets, and we're getting 125. So value on the Winnipeg Jets. But Edmonton right now, 3-game win streak. And you look at their last game, a 3-0 win against the Habs. And they haven't played in a couple of days. 3 games home rest. So home teams on 3 days rest, 0-5 so far. So they got to be careful there. And for Winnipeg, in their last 10 trips to Edmonton, 6-4 straight up, 4-6 to the number, 7-3 to the over. So the over looks like a nice play here tonight. Starting goaltenders for Edmonton and the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Hellebuck for the it looks like it's not confirmed, but Mikko Koskinen. Koskinen with a goals against average of 3.46. Hellebuck, respectable 2.36 goals against. Save percentage of 0.921. And Koskinen has not been good this year, right? Koskinen has been shaky. It's like Swiss cheese some games. Edmonton 4-4 at home, and for Winnipeg 2-2. And I think all those games were against Ottawa. Most of them anyways. I think they had like 3 games in Ottawa. Now, looking at the, let me see here. 2-2, 1-3, 9-7 on the year for Edmonton, 8-6 for Winnipeg. It's hard to go against Edmonton in this spot, right? But I think the over might be more value on the over. In fact, look at the over in the last 10 head-to-head meetings, 7-3. 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head matches. And again, I talk about it in basketball. Styles make fights. Same thing in sports, right? And the last time these two, look at the last couple of games here. 6-4, 4-3, 4-2. So they've been involved in some high-scoring games. Let me take a look at off a loss this year. Road teams coming off a loss, 53, 60-2 to the under. So a little bit of, nothing crazy to the under there, only 7 games off. But let me see here. Edmonton. So home teams this year coming off a 3-goal win, 17-6 to the over. I think I like more the over tonight, guys, than Edmonton. I think the over, especially if Koskinen's going to be shaky, right? If he's shaky in the first period, don't you love those games where it's like 3-2 in the first and you got the over at 5.5? Doesn't those make you feel better? Oilers should win, but I would like to bet Jets for. Yeah, you know what? I know you look at the Jets plus money and you say, that's good value, right? Value, percentage play, and cycles. But I think there's more value in the over. I know what you mean, though. I think there's a lot of good value. If you do like the Jets, the calculator, ATS Calculator has the Jets winning 0.23 and 6.28, but I think Edmonton's the call. I think overtime in Stars game 2. Really, eh? Punch a wall type game. Punch a wall type game. What do you mean by that, Isaiah? Punch a wall like you lost? Punch a wall type game. I like that. That's good. All right. Calgary taking on Vancouver. Man, this is what, the 4th game in a row? No, 3rd game in a row. Canucks won 3-1 Saturday night. Going to this game, Calgary a 125 favorite. I think they've been a 125 the whole time. 125, 147. So the first game, they were 147, and now the last 2 games, 125. Calculator going back to the Canucks here. 3.02, 2.94, over-under at 5.96. Vancouver, 4-6 in the last 10, and for Calgary, 5-5. The value index, minus 113 for the Flames, 165 for the Canucks. 76% chance of this game going over the total. Starting goaltenders tonight, Jacob Markstrom up against his old team, the Thatcher Demko for the Canucks, but it's not official. Demko's 4-6. Actually, 4-6. And Markstrom, 7-4. 2.3 goals against for Markstrom. Pretty good goals against average. 3.46 for Thatcher Demko. And the last 4 games for the Canucks have gone under. Last 3 for Calgary. Not a lot of, what's the over-under in this game? 5.5. Wow. You know what? I think the Calgary under is where I'm leaning early. But I think I like the under much better than the side here. Calgary 3-5 on the road, 3-5 to the under. Vancouver, Jekyll and Hyde, right? 5-3 at home, 2-8 on the road. But I look at the last 10 head-to-head meetings, 4-6 to the under. And looking at the Vancouver Canucks, 2-3 as a home underdog and giving up, but 4.2 goals against. See, when they're a home favorite, they give up 1, but when they're in the underdog role, they only give up 4.2 only. Yeah, they do give up 4.2, but that's a little scary. I think it might be a pass. Home teams coming off a 2-goal win, 8-13 to the under this season in NHL. For the Vancouver Canucks in their last 10 games, averaging 2.7 goals for, 3.3, and for Calgary, 2.7 and 2.8 goals against. So pretty much 500 right there. But Calgary and the under is probably where I'd lean in this one. Where are you seeing 6.5, Lance? Let me check the line here. If you're getting 6.5, then you're getting good line here. Okay, I'm seeing 6. So now this, you don't see 6 very often. That's the first. That's the only game. Oh no, there's a couple of games tonight. Florida, I'm seeing 6. So now the bookmakers are starting to put a 6 out there, right? So there is a 6. I don't see 6.5. But hey, if you get 6.5, more power to you. All right, let's go to the next one here. The last game of the night. Anaheim taking on the San Jose Sharks. Now, Anaheim going into this one as a minus 116 favorite. Really? I thought see this line flip. Let me see. I thought San Jose opened up the favorite in this one. Let me see. So it was a pick 'em and then went 116 for San Jose. And now I'm seeing 116 going to Anaheim. Let me check with the money line here. Yeah, so Anaheim getting the late love here. And late love after Valentine's Day. So looks like Anaheim getting minus 116 and looking the over-under in the last 10, 3-7. No value on any of these teams here tonight. Had them both in the plus 130 for San Jose, plus 164. 53% chance of this game going over the total. The chance of winning does favor San Jose. They're on a 2-game losing streak coming off the loss to Vegas on Saturday afternoon. And looking at Anaheim, a 1-0 win. But that was 3 games ago, right? So they haven't played in 3 games. And looking at the last 10 head-to-head meetings, San Jose 6-4 at the Shark Tank, 7-3 to the over. And for Anaheim in their last 3 games, they're averaging 2.3 goals for, 2 points against. See, the problem with San Jose, they don't play good defense. They're allowing 4 goals against in their last 3 games and 4 goals against their last 7. And I think Anaheim, to me, guys, is Anaheim is where I'm leaning on this one. I've already played it anyways, but I got Anaheim. Any fights tonight? I don't know. Is Boston and the Rangers playing? Again, guys, don't forget, make your picks at hockeypicks.com. Check it out, hockeypicks.com, and go follow some of the top pickers. In fact, Eddie Musco, the guy that I follow here, if you go to top scorers or top pickers, or actually go to top scorers, this guy here, Musco, this guy is absolutely on fire. He's got a score of 827. Look at that. His record and his confidence level, absolutely crushing it. So anytime you see a confidence level of 34 to 31, he's 53%. 55 to 62, he's 9-4. 63 to 72%, he's 14-4. And 4-0 on 73% or higher. So when you break down these numbers, so that's 13, 27 and 8. He's 27 and 8 at 55 to 100% in his confidence level. Let's see who he's got tonight. So Eddie Musco, where are you? There's Eddie. Eddie's got St. Louis. He's got the Islanders, the Leafs, Chicago, Dallas, Edmonton, Vancouver, San Jose, Carolina, and Tampa Bay. A couple of, anybody over 800 is really good. I'm struggling at 538. JJ Harley J he's killing it too. 818. Harnet's got 704. So, hey guys, a lot of great hockey handicappers at hockeypicks.com. Come make your plays each and every day. And let's see the consensus before we go to see where everybody's betting on. So right now, people are liking St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Islanders, Carolina, Toronto, 63 to 1. And that's not me. I'm not the 1% here. I'm not that one voter for Ottawa. As much as I'd love to say I am, but I'm not. 53 votes for the Chicago Blackhawks. Dallas getting all the love. So is Edmonton. Calgary, 37 to 28. And then San Jose. Wow, that's a surprising one. If there's a surprise here, it looks like San Jose getting the love here over Anaheim. All right, guys, that's it for me for a Monday. Don't forget, take advantage of our flash sales. $99 for a 1-year membership here at ATS Stats. Anything you see that I did here today is inside the Rain Report. And if you want my top plays, my premium picks, having a wild sale here for 1 year, all my top plays for $99. That's a 1-year membership, premium picks, $99, atsstats.com. And before I go, I'd just like to thank everybody out there in the internet land and the Rain Report for tuning in. And hopefully we're able to either talk you off or on the fence or off the fence in some of your plays here today, guys. But again, my name is Ron Raymond. I've been doing this since 1996. I'm the founder of atsstats.com and the Rain Report. And happy to do this for you guys each and every day here on our channel. Any questions before I go, guys? Any last minute things you guys want to talk about before I log off? Well, that's about it, right? All right, guys, as always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back here tomorrow on another Rain Report. Cheers, guys.